Hi, my name's Andrew Sears, and I'm the president of City Vision University, and I'm going to tell you about our Wounded Healers program. Many of our partners are among the best in the world at helping get people sober. They'll have a 1 year, 9 month residential recovery program and just amazing outcomes. But as I talk to hundreds of organizations each year, almost all of them say they wish that their aftercare support could be better. So we've created this program to help be a partner to help you do that. So our Wounded Healers Aftercare Partnership Program consists of three components. It's designed to partner with addiction recovery ministries, and the three components are: we provide specialized courses and certificates that are really targeting people who are graduates of residential addiction recovery programs at rescue missions or Salvation Army, ARCs, or things along those lines. And what we're doing is we're focused on really being the next step. So often, I say that you guys have year one of a program, and we want to be years 2 through 8 if they go on for a bachelor's part-time. And we could provide life skills and job training courses and certificate programs needed for employment that can also lead to associates and bachelors. So in addition to that, we also are providing aftercare support. We're hiring a full-time person that's going to provide remote case management, but also work with you. So if you have aftercare staff or alumni that work with alumni, that we can help work with you so that you guys stay connected, that we stay connected through, you also. And then the third thing is financial support. So we give away almost 20% of our budget as scholarships, and a large portion of those go to Wounded Healers. So for partners that send 2 or more students, that's a $250 a course scholarship. And more than 90% of our Wounded Healers who apply for financial aid also get a full Pell Grant. So the way that works out for people, the students actually get paid to go to school, so this kind of becomes an alternative to a part-time job. So almost all of our students will be working somewhere, either part-time or full-time. So this is really intended to be a complement to a job. So that the way it works out is they get a Pell Grant with our scholarship, and then after tuition, the student's getting paid $374 per course. So some of the outcomes, just so you know, with our Wounded Healers program, for students who at least complete one term, we have a 54% graduation rate, a 94% employment rate. So in 2023, we had over 100 students, and we have 46 ministry partners. And really what we're designed to do is, many of our partners are taking people, off the street or out of addiction or after, prison. And then they have a residential recovery or reentry program. And then we're designed to kind of be the next step that's going to help them, continue to stable employment and housing. And the idea behind this is that, just creating a vision for clients that, we're all wounded healers. And, borrowing the term from Henry Nouwen, when our wounds cease to be a source of shame and become a source of healing, we have become wounded healers. And we have a whole curriculum based around that theme. So in the curriculum, we have 7 certificates currently, and we're going to be adding more. So we're trying to equip people for these fields. So we're not a solution for all fields. So if people aren't interested in these fields, then this may not be a good fit unless they just want to do it for the life skills courses. So addiction counseling, nonprofit management, business administration, Christian ministry, nonprofit fundraising, retail management, and food services. Now, these last 2 we developed because we found that some of the largest sectors that are hiring program graduates are often food services, but they start off at a very low-end job, and often at places where a lot of people are using drugs, so it's not the best place to be. But if they could move up into management, they can get a better job, and that's essentially what we're trying to help them do. So, our program partners are almost always providing life skills courses. And what I like to say is, you guys provide the 101, we like to provide the 201, 301, 401. If you look at the life skills courses that we provide and what we're trying to do, so our vocation, calling, and purpose of work, we're helping our students develop a life plan based on their strengths and a theology of work. Then our Wounded Healers course, that's really the first course, our first or second course we want these folks to take. It's a holistic addiction recovery and self-care, and they develop a relapse prevention and life balance plan, and they help others do the same. Then another course is emotional intelligence, where they learn to have healthy relationships. Personal finance, we're using Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace, and I know many of our partners use that, but we just go a lot deeper. So each of these courses, a 3-credit course is 135 hours of learning. So we're going to go really deep on those things. Holistic personal health and spirituality, for a lot of people, they suffer from depression, anxiety, and those things, and other mental health issues. Not often you can improve those things significantly if you improve your physical health, and that helps improve long-term sobriety. So and then basic job skills and job and internships search strategies, working through past family issues. So family issues in recovery, they process their own family of origin issues. And then the technology, life balance, and behavioral addictions. One of the things we've found is that a lot of people, after they move out of chemical addictions, they essentially trade them in for behavioral addiction, whether that's workaholism or addiction to pornography or gaming or other things, and we want to help our students avoid that. So what do these certificates look like? So our retail management certificate is really focused especially on students who might go from a program to working in a thrift store, and we're going to provide them with the general skills that they need. So they'll take a course, introduction to business, introduction to management and leadership. So how do you be a first-time manager? Retail management, and then introduction to nonprofit and ministry management. We're going to be adding a thrift course very soon, and then they can take some electives, including some of those life skills electives. Now, the certificate that allows the most room for life skills is our undergraduate certificate program in Christian ministry. So they take our vocation, calling, and purpose of work course. There's a lot of room for these life skills courses that I mentioned. They also have a Bible and theology course, and then a cross-cultural ministry course. And then they can, use that to build into an associate's and bachelor's. So how can we support your program? Well, part of that is we can be a part of your wraparound aftercare support strategy for program graduates to improve your long-term success rate. So we really want to reduce relapse rates. About 25% of our students are program graduates from our partners. And we've, in the past, we've had students who relapse, and we walk with them as they come back. But now with fentanyl, last year we had 2 students die, and we really want to reduce relapse rates because, we care and we want to make a difference in our students' lives. And we also want to help them improve their employment outcomes needed for long-term housing stability. So one of the other ways we can help is by sharing outcomes data. So, we're often in relationship with part-time students for 5 to 8 years, and it can be really difficult to say, hey, what's happened to our clients, 5 or 8 years later, but often we'll know that. We can provide best practices for effective aftercare programs. We have about 400 meetings with partners a year, and we're always collecting information on best practices, and aftercare is really an area where a lot of missions want to improve. In ministries want to improve. We can recognize credit for your client educational program. We have a partnership with St. Matthew's where after they graduate from St. Matthew's program, they can have up to 16 college credits. And we also can be a partner to write letters of support as an aftercare partner for any funding proposals that you submit. Having an accredited college as a partner and knowing that this is leading to college credit and a job that can help. I often will throw in my, MIT background and being involved with co-founding a research group at MIT that helps, create credibility to funding partners. So what's the profile of a typical Wounded Healer student? So the reality is we're not a good solution for all your graduates. And we really think that for most of our ministry partners, we're only going to be a good fit for maybe 5 to 20% of program graduates. So, we want them to be still connected to your ministry, either formally or informally through an aftercare alumni program. One of the requirements is our accreditor requires that they have to have a high school diploma or GED or equivalent. the biggest thing probably is they have to have an interest in the fields related to City Vision certificates, or they just want to do the life skills, even if they're not interested in those fields. So, a lot of people want to do construction trades, or, a lot of our partners have things like forklift driving. We're an online only school. We're not going to teach forklift driving. We're not going to be a good place for plumbing, but someone could go for plumbing and they want to take our life skills courses on the side. We could, in that case, we're kind of like a hobby that helps them continue to grow. But one of the biggest limitations is they need to have the capacity to spend 17 hours a week on a course, because that's what it takes. So we have 5 terms per year. They're 8-week terms, and they need to be able to spend 17 hours a week on a course. So for some people, that's great, because that's going to keep them out of trouble. The idle hands are a devil's workshop for some people, but for other people, their lives are hanging by a thread. So if you add a 17-hour a week commitment, that's could be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of their sobriety. So you have to figure out, where are they in that spectrum? Does the principle of idle hands, or the devil's workshop apply, or are they, completely too stressed out and they need to, not have other things on their plate? Most of our folks are going to be employed full-time or at least part-time. Greater than 50% of our wounded healers are employed at ministry partners. Often they're doing in frontline programs or thrift or food services. But others might be working at, McDonald's or, retail or other entry-level jobs. So, typically they're going to be a part-time student taking 1 course per term. So that would be 5 courses per year. And that's why, someone might be with us for as long as 8 years to get a bachelor's degree. So who's City Vision not a good fit for? We don't want to try to just make money off of people. We're a nonprofit organization, and, we want to be a good fit for people who we're a good fit for. So if they're either too busy or their lives are too chaotic, ultimately they just need the 17 hours a week. We don't want that commitment to increase their relapse risk or housing insecurity. Sometimes people have to work that second job. So what we found for students, a lot of times students, they come in and they think, do I have the cognitive ability? I would say for more than 99% of people that we've had come, that's not been the issue. It's, can you put in the 17 hours a week? If you can put in the time, we can start you on basic courses. As I mentioned, the other thing is, if someone wants to work in a trade like construction, we're not going to be a good fit. Some of our partners have really good partnerships with, some of the trade unions or other, partners that will help people get passed into those. And that's going to be a better path. And often, what they're trying to do, especially if you're in a high cost of living area, you have to get the maximum short-term income for the minimum amount of time to even, make rent. The other is, if you plan to pursue a career in another type of field that City Vision does support, like nursing. And then the last category is, if their real plan is, they only want to do this to transfer credits to a state school bachelor's program. So most state schools will not take transfer credits from a Christian school like City Vision into their bachelor's program. You should know that City Vision's bachelor's degrees transfer very well into master's programs. We've never had our bachelor's degree not accepted at a master's program, but we don't advise trying to use City Vision as a path to, say, a state school. But we can still be a good option if they just want to transfer our life skills. If they just want to take our life skills courses or certificates on their own without concern about transfer credit. So for example, many of our partners provide life skills courses. As a part of their own training program. You might have a Dave's Ramsey course, and that's going to help them in their own long-term sobriety. But you're not concerned about, is that going to transfer somewhere? So part of it just depends on their goals. So what we recommend with most partners is start small. Start with 1 or 2 clients, see how it works, and in doing that, we can find out how that works with you. Now, if you're interested in partnering with us or just finding out more, fill out the form on our website or send an email to partnerships@cityvision.edu. And, as I mentioned, we just want to help you and your client succeed. So thanks a lot.